Hello Redhawks. In this video we're going to be looking at installing and using Lockdown Browser. So if you are at this point, you probably have a course that's requiring you to use Lockdown Browser when you take an exam in a course. So we're going to look at the process for first downloading and installing, and then the process, what it looks like when we try to open and take our exam. So to begin, we're going to go over here and click on the Help menu. And then we're going to go down and find the link that says Lockdown Browser Download. If we click there, it's going to take us to the screen, and then we would click on the download button. And then the download will start. Depending on how your computer's set up, it might automatically send it to your downloads. It might do this and give you an option to select where you want it to go. Regardless of how that works, you'll need to locate the file with the file name that's listed on your screen once you download. In order to do that, sometimes you can just copy and paste this and then come down to your search bar, which, depending on which version of Windows you're running, will be located someplace down here. I believe on a Mac, you'll have a little magnifying glass up in the upper right-hand corner. You can click and that will allow you to search for that file as well. Once you've found that file, that's just the installer file. So you need to, when you download it, you've not downloaded Lockdown Browser, you've just downloaded the package to help you install the Lockdown Browser. So you need to find that. Because it's already installed on my computer, I can't replicate this on the screen, but you just double click that file when you find it, and it will guide you through the steps that you will need to be able to find your Lockdown Browser. Once that's completed, then we can go back into our Canvas course. And depending on how the quiz has been set up by your instructor, will depend on how you access your quiz or exam. Sometimes it can be difficult to tell, but usually it's pretty consistent for that course, although courses may differ. Canvas currently has two different types of quiz setups that it offers, and unfortunately Lockdown Browser works a little bit differently with both of them. So always be able to tell what requires Lockdown Browser, because when your instructor enables Lockdown Browser, it's going to put this in the title and saying requires Lockdown Browser. It could say plus webcam or monitor, or it might just look like this. If it looks like this, it's only going to require you to use Lockdown Browser itself. If it has the plus webcam or monitor, what that's saying is it's going to record you while taking the test. It might even ask you to do show photo ID or do an environment scan to show what's around you in the room. But regardless, they're both going to work the same, whether they require a monitor or not. It's just a matter of having your webcam available for the test. Our bigger concern, though, is looking at how do we access the test once we've downloaded Lockdown Browser. So we'll go ahead and click on our practice quiz, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on take the quiz as we normally would, and then you'll see this pops up. This is the screen that sometimes people get stuck in a loop on, because it's going to say that requires lockdown. Please download it. If you haven't installed it, please download it here. At which point you can install from there as well. But again, better to use that link in the help menu, because that makes sure that you get the one that's for Lake Michigan College. Every college has their own different instance of Lockdown Browser, so you have to make sure that you're using the one required for Lake Michigan College. So if you get this, what this is telling you is you need to first open the Lockdown Browser and then go ahead and go to the test. So I will show you as much as I can of that process. If you don't know where your Lockdown Browser is at, again, just using your search bar. If I search for Lockdown Browser, I'll see it pop up. You can see here, this was the file that we used to install with. The icons look a little bit different, obviously. We want to find the one that's called Lockdown Browser. It might be called 2Lab. It might just be called Lockdown Browser. It depends on versions, so that could change depending on when you're viewing this video in relation to when it was recorded. But I'm just going to go ahead and open up this actual application and go from there. It's going to then bring this up, and you'll see Lockdown Browser. It will give you a pop-up if there's any applications that are open that need to be closed. I'm not going to be able to show you what it looks like when we get all the way in, because it's going to ask me to close my recording program as a result. So I can't show you how that all looks. But basically what will happen is it will end up taking you to the sign-on page for Lake Michigan College, which will then allow you to get into Canvas, and then you would navigate in Canvas as normal. You basically get back to this point again. you go to quizzes, and then when you launched your quiz inside the Lockdown browser, as opposed to inside of Chrome or Safari or Firefox or whatever it is that you use, it will then launch the exam like you would want it to. So that's option 1. Option 2 would be I click on my exam, and it's going to give me a message right away. You'll see this screen in the background, which looks different, and it'll ask me to open Lockdown browser. So option 1, I have to open Lockdown browser, log into Canvas, go to my course, find my assessment, and open it. Option 2, I can go ahead and use my normal browser to locate the assessment, and then it's going to prompt me to open Lockdown browser. So same ultimate end game, however, the steps to get there are a little bit different, and that sometimes causes students confusion. So hopefully that helps to kind of navigate that process. It does make it a little tricky because, like I said, there's 2 different quiz types that you can use, and the way you access it can be a little different, and installing the software is not what most of us are used to, phones and tablets, and we download the app we want and it just appears on the screen. This one requires a step of downloading the installer and then also installing the browser itself. If you have any questions or run into problems, you can always use the help menu to find us and then use this top link to contact the TLDE team. That will allow you to send us an email and just let us know what problem you're having. If you're running into any issues, screenshots and descriptions of the problems you're having help us to diagnose the problem more quickly and get you up and running so that you can take care of your coursework. Have a great day.